All right, YouTube. Well, we're still at it. Man, sun's come out. Beautiful day. So we are in Bedford, Virginia at the National D-Day Memorial. And there'll be a little history on that. And just for clarification, this channel is not monetized. I received no payment, no compensation from YouTube, Google, nothing like that. So I'm not compensated anyway. This is just for personal enjoyment only. With that being said, we're at the National D-Day Memorial in Bedford. And this is a place I've been wanting to come to for a while. So we're want to check into the visitor center real quick. They do have a walking trail, they have a guided tour. Everything I've seen about online looks really cool. So we're got the camper. Where's it at? Back there. Stephanie's working on some lunch because it's almost lunchtime. And got generator going, a little bit of air conditioning. Want to check in the gift shop real quick and we'll give you a quick little tour. All right, checked in the visitor center. Little Quonset huts over here, they're kind of cool. Checked into the visitor center. And we do have Riley with us, as we always do. And we did bring her stroller because, you know, poor old girl's getting up there. And dogs are allowed on the outside. In case Riley is a service dog. But she'll be in her stroller. And she's like, yeah, that's cool. You know, Riley's got a bad knee, so does Stephanie, but you know, we all got something wrong with us. Anyhow, we're gonna eat some lunch. They got a 12:30 tour, so we'll try to get in on that.
Oh, they did. It was not on the outside. It was like nothing. And you get in there. Oh. So we'll hang out right in here and let the little children.
This represents a German bunker. They put the waterfall up to make the noise to represent combat, but like we all know, this is a fraction of what the noise they would actually hear in combat. This is the Rangers climbing Point de Hoc. So everybody's seen Saving Private Ryan when they did that. There's a Higgins boat, representation of a Higgins boat. And if you see my guy right here, we'll take a look at the helmet. Yep, he is a medic. The tour guide said that they brought the wounded up onto the beach. They didn't retreat with them because it was too dangerous. around the monument is all of our allies from World War II. And the one that looks like Germany is representative of Belgium, obviously. And that is the new Canadian flag, because they didn't come up with that one until like 64, I believe. And one of these is to Czech, that's obviously France. I believe that's Czechoslovakia, I guess as close as they could get. But you know, some of those countries aren't around anymore. Greece, there's Australia, New Zealand, Great Britain, and all those run around the perimeter for Operation Oakland. And this statue, which, as you can see, is damaged. It was actually made like this. There is one in France. This is a woman. This was in France from World War I. Somehow during World War II, it got damaged. Up in the head and face area, the jaw and all that, the neck has been damaged. And it got knocked over. They put it back up. And this is an exact replica of the one in France with the damage. And our tour guide said that when Customs got it and looked at it, they called and were apologizing because it got damaged in transit. But she told them, no, it's supposed to look like that. It's a representation of one in France. So a little story behind that that monument there. So if you ever get the chance to come out here to Bedford, Virginia, this is definitely a tour worth taking. Definitely get the guided tour. It's about 45 minutes to an hour long. Very informative, just tons of information, history, little things about this park, the way it's set up, little tidbits of information with that. It's definitely a tour worth taking. So I think it was $10 for veterans, $15 if you're not. So it's not overly expensive. Good place to spend the day. So if you're walking this, in case you have mobility issues, it's the whole thing that we walked, it's a quarter mile, maybe.
Between a quarter and a half.
Between quarter and a half mile. It's, yeah, everything. Not a lot, there's really no hills per se, just maybe a little slight incline. You don't even have to use steps. So if you are wheelchair bound, you're easily able to do it in a wheelchair. So, which is good because there's not many World War II vets that are left. And when they do come, most of them are in wheelchairs. The Coast Guard actually piloted most of the Higgins boats on the landing. They do have a pavilion here, so if people want to bring some lunches or anything, you can use the pavilion. I did notice they have new Space Force hanging up on there. Okay, that's pretty cool. They do have a small gift shop in there, and actually there's bathrooms over there too. And gift shop, got a magnet. It's like every other gift shop. So I don't know. We just get magnets like everywhere we go now. Our whole fridge is covered in magnets of places we've been. I'm not sure what I'm going to do when I go full time and don't have any refrigerator space. So one other part about Bedford is they have the Bedford Boys Museum and Tribute Center. So they had 20 men killed in the landing on D-Day. And with a population of, I think, 3,200, it was a very high percentage, one of the high, I think the highest in the country, which is why they got the memorial. So we're gonna go over here and check this out. It's actually in Green's Drugstore here, right on the corner. So that's where they built it. And I got a green light. Try not to get run over here. And it says use other door. All right, so let's walk down here and check out the Bedford Boys Museum.
Our beloved Bedford boys are to be remembered, reflected upon, respected, but above all, their stories retold.
So here is the pride and spirit of Bedford.
Yeah, I gotta take care of Linda.
This was the 48 reactivation of Company A. Over here is the Bedford Boys Honor Roll. These are all of the men that were killed on that D-Day invasion. Most of them within the first few minutes. The video in there is excellent. A lot of the stuff in these cases were held onto by families for, 70 some years before this museum here got established. One of the boys' high school rings. Here's some of the original Western Union teletypes that came in, from the War Department saying that, they had been killed in action. Some of their Purple Hearts. One of the boys had his dice in his pocket, which was this guy right here, had these dice in his pocket, and they were returned home, along with some letters that he had written. Piece of Omaha Beach. Little Jack, there was a story with him in that watch. Bloodstained Bible that was taken off of his body. Purple Hearts for all of these men. One of the soldiers had his guitar. There it is, right back where it came from. And since this was a drugstore, they had a soda fountain here, so a lot of these boys grew up in this store. Some of them worked here. And a lot of their, these are some of the Gold Star widows. Some of the men were married before they left. And then this is some of the stuff that belonged to the wives. This was the unit patch.
Yeah, for John. Yeah. And
Now this here, this was Elizabeth. She was the teletype operator from Western Union. And on that day, I believe, like they said, on June 15th, when these started coming in, on this exact, this is the teletype that she was operating when she would receive the teletypes about the Bedford boys that had been killed in action.
that's probably why you sound good. Might pop the cork, huh? Let's be perfectly honest. Might pop the cork. See what it is, I've got, those 5,
These are some of the boys who returned,
well, I know what it is.
who were from Bedford, who made it out and made it back to Bedford. And there's some other stuff in here that they have since on loan or donated to the museum. This picture right here is the Bedford Firemen's Band. This is the band, and this is when they were being sent overseas to England before they started the D-Day invasion from the Virginia Company A here. This gentleman here is in this band playing, and he had said when he dies he wanted his trombone above those bricks. These bricks were the same bricks on this street. When they were getting ready to put asphalt down, they were taking the bricks out. One of the family got the bricks, and he remembers walking on those bricks in the band. He wanted his trombone there. So there's just a ton of history in this little museum. So
The whole thing.
this is the narrator for the
Bedford Boys Tribute Center.
for the Bedford Boys Tribute Center. So, and he did an
Ken
outstanding job in that video.
Get the flag in. Excellent. Excellent.
I love this old soda machine. So if you're ever in Bedford, Virginia, this is definitely a great place to stop. There's the video. The other gentleman was the narrator in that video, and it was an outstanding video. I mean, there was lots of, just incredible information in there. And this all just coincides with the D-Day, National D-Day Memorial just down the street. So if you're around here, it's definitely worth stopping by. So, because that's actually Desmond Doss.
Yeah, and Harry Truman giving him the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Already got his Congressional Medal of Honor. Help me get one more.
Let me show you something else.
So in case you don't know, Desmond Doss was a medic in World War II, and he's got his own movie about him, Hacksaw Ridge. So if you've never seen it, it's a really good movie, and that's where that's how Desmond Doss, especially me being a medic, has, affected me. There's a nice mural on the side of the clock in Bedford. Oh, so this must be the main street of Bedford. And this piece of marble is quarried out of Normandy, France, where the invasion happened, and they shipped it over for their monument.